Besides acting, what are your other interests?
I like reading. I like spending time with my friends and family. I like sports, lawn tennis, chess, cricket.
Do you find time enough for that?
Well, I do find time for chess. Being an indoor game, I can find much more time for it, though it takes longer to play a game of chess. But I do play chess every now and then, yeah. I read a lot. I read every day.
I will accept you are tough, but how do you rate yourself as a husband and father?
I think that you must ask my wife. But if I have to rate myself, I think as an actor, I think I make a better husband and a better father than an actor. And I think I'm a mediocre actor. So I don't know what that makes it.
Okay, on the family front, how does it feel to be a heartthrob on one hand and a father on the other? How do you balance the two?
Well, there's not much balancing to do really. I just do my work and I hope that people like it. And so far I've been fortunate. And in my personal life, I am what I am, you know. So that remains as it is.
You are one of the stars without tapping. Do you agree?
I don't know really because I don't know that many stars, and I don't consider a star someone who's come from outer space. He's a human being. He or she is a human being, and he or she behaves like a human being. So any star is first a human being. I've noticed a lot of people look at a star and say, look at her, what does she think of herself? She's too snotty, she doesn't talk to anybody, she's very snobbish, or he is very snobbish, he doesn't talk to anybody. So they kind of look upon the person as somebody who's come from Mars or Jupiter, you know. That person is also a human being. And you must realize that most human beings behave in a particular way. And that only reflects what is happening in society today. If today in society 70% of the people are not very nice, and maybe 30% are nice people, I'm just giving an arbitrary figure, then you will find that in every profession, whether it's films or any other profession or any other field, you will find that 70% are people who are not so nice and 30% are nice. So what you're finding in films is what is there in what is existing in society. So if in society majority of the people are not very nice, you will find that in films also majority of the people are not very nice. Success means to me when I act in a film which I am happy with, which I am proud of, and that film even the audience likes, then that is real success to me. If I do a film which I think is not so good and the people think it's great and it's a smash hit, that's not really success for me. Success is something that I have liked, you know, something that I have done and I have liked and I am proud of, and even the people like it, you know. Only then it is real success. And well, that's as far as films are concerned. And success, as far as my personal life is concerned, for me to be happy, for me to be able to give time to people who are close to me, and for me to get time from people who are close to me. Actually, when I am doing a role, I don't think of what image it's going to cast me into. I just think of how I like the story and how I like the character. What image it will create of me is something that I don't put my mind to. Let me correct you here. Raak was not a negative role. It was a role of a boy who was very naive, in fact, and who is trying to fight against the system in his own small way because of some personal problem that he has. So it was not a role of a negative boy, or it was not negative in any way. And I think that these two films have helped me, both of them have helped me. Qayamat Se Qayamat Tak has helped me establish myself in the market. It has given me, success. And Raakh has, and both of them have taught me a little about acting, because I've been through the process of doing the two films. I'm not a trained actor. So for me, the learning process was doing Qayamat Se Qayamat Tak and doing Raakh. And Raakh had a lot of very emotional, high-charged scenes which were very difficult for me to do. Before enacting them, I was worried how I would do them. I wasn't sure how I could do them. So it gave me an opportunity to, try out.
Okay, back in the very beginning, you displayed a super balanced mind, starting films with it, scrutinizing your role, which is very unlike your rival. Can you comment on that?
Actually, right in the beginning, I was not so choosy. I am much more choosy now. After Qayamat Se Qayamat Tak released, which was in April '88, in the next 6 months after that, I signed about 8 or 9 films. I think some of the decisions were not proper, and which I began realizing, as I began working in the films. So I gained through the experience that I went through, and I learned what are the mistakes I had made and how not to repeat them. And thereafter, I became extremely cautious about the films I signed. I was quite particular about the directors I worked with, the scripts I worked on. In fact, after the first batch of 8 to 9 films that I signed, after that, for almost a year and a half or 2 years, I didn't sign any film. And the next film I signed after that was Dil Hai Ke Manta Nahi. And since then, I've been, signing films very carefully, and I'm not in a hurry to do too much work. I can't do too much work. I feel that I would like to do one film at a time. Right now, I'm doing 2, sometimes 3 films at a time, which I'm not happy with. I want to cut down to do 1 film at a time. No, it's entirely Mansoor's. The kind of person Mansoor is, it's impossible to give him a script and convince him to like it and convince him to make it. He has to be comfortable. I mean, you can suggest ideas to him, you can suggest scripts to him. He's most open. But unless and until he's thrilled with the script, he's not going to make the film out of it. Unless and until he's charged enough and motivated enough by the script, he's not going to make a film out of it. So, Qayamat Se Qayamat Tak was a script which originally he had not worked on. But when he heard the script, he liked it, and he then, almost revamped almost the whole thing before he began directing the film. So there was a major contribution of his in the scripting. And Jojita was totally his baby, and, his idea, and he developed most of it. We helped him a little bit here and there. But both of them were basically all his work.
How much would you call yourself a director's actor?
I think I'm a director's actor to quite an extent, in the sense that I try and understand, to the utmost what the director wants out of me. I give him my suggestions and my input towards the film, towards my role. But after that, I try and understand exactly what he wants, because filmmaking may be teamwork, but it is one man's vision. Teamwork doesn't mean that everybody has their own vision and the film starts getting pulled in different directions. Teamwork means everyone works as a team, everyone supports the director. The team has to have a captain, and that is the director. So everyone does their bit, everyone supports each other. So in that sense, we're working as a team. But it is one man's vision, and that is the director. And we have all got to follow his vision, and we have got to contribute to his vision. We have to complement his, ideas. So I think that I like to try and understand to the utmost what he wants out of the film and what he wants out of my character, what he wants out of me as an actor, and then I try my level best to give him that, you know. And I feel that a shot has come out well when I rise above the expectations of the director. You know, that's when I feel happy with it.
In the space of violent, vulgar films, you came with a neat entertainer from here, and it turned out to be super hit. Were you so confident about the film, or was it surprising?
Well, to be honest, when the film was due for release, I was quite diffident about the film. I was not at all confident, because I used to see all kinds of films doing well, which were not of my taste. They were vulgar, they were, there was too much violence, and some of them were quite senseless. So I was, feeling that we have made a film which is like this, and maybe in the wrong time. We made it in the wrong time. So I was rather diffident. I was thinking that the audiences are not in the right frame of mind for a film like Hum Hai Pyar Ke. But as it turned out, they were, and they liked the film, and I was really thrilled and very pleased to know that the audiences have liked the film so much. I was really, really happy, and it gave me a lot of confidence. It gave me a lot of encouragement to do the kind of films that I want to do. Because this is the strength, that I get from the audiences. That when I do a film which is really nice, which is really, you can categorize it under good cinema. It may not be the best film on earth, and it may not be a masterpiece, but it's a neat and nice film, as compared to trash, and vulgar films and excessive violence in films. So as compared to that, this film didn't have all that, and the audiences, by appreciating this film, by watching it, and by making it a success, they gave me a lot of encouragement to continue doing this.
What according to you is the highlight?
Hum Hai Pyar Ke has got no highlight. It's a smooth film. The scripting is on a very smooth level. There are no highlights in the film as such. I think what people have liked about the film is the simplicity, the small touches in emotions. It makes you smile, it makes you feel sad at times, and it gives you a general feeling of goodness. It revives your faith in human beings. So I think that's what people like in the film. Well, the character that I have enjoyed playing most is Sanjay Lal from Jo Jeeta Wahi Sikandar. Not that the character is like me in real life, nothing like that. But it's a character which I enjoyed playing. It's a character which I understood a lot. I was able to, get into the character much more deeper than maybe my other characters. So I enjoyed playing that role. And I enjoyed playing Raghu Jetli from Dil Hai Ke Manta Nahi.
Okay, Mahesh Bhatt has also given you a tuition. What's that for rapport do you share with him? How was it working?
Bhatt Saab and I have a very warm relationship, and I'm very fond of him. I think right from day one we hit it off really well, and I'm really happy that both the films that we've done together have done well, and I'm looking forward to working with him in our next film, which should start. There's a little while yet before it starts, another 8 months or a year before it starts. But we worked out the script, and we're looking forward to starting that film. Well, all of them have some qualities which are common. All of them are nice human beings. They're good looking, they're good actresses, and I've enjoyed working with all of them. Apart from that, of course, they're very different in their own ways, and I think I'm a little closer to Juhi because I've worked much more with her, and our first film was together, and I'm a little fond of her. As an actress, she's improved a lot, and as a human being, she's put on weight. But no, I think that as a human being, there's no change in her, and as an actress, I think she's improved a lot, a great deal. I think Andaz Apna Apna was another very exciting film for me. I really enjoyed doing the film. It's the first comedy that I've done. A lot of people think Hame Rahi Pyar Ke is a comedy. I don't think it's a comedy. Especially my character does not do much comedy in Hame Rahi Pyar Ke. It's the other characters doing it. So for me, Andaz Apna Apna was the first real comedy, and I've really enjoyed doing it. We've tried all kinds of comedy in this film. Dialogue comedy, situational comedy, slapstick. And Raj is a very good director to work with. He's very good for actors. He's a very good writer himself. So he writes the scenes really well. And he's a very good human being. So it was a real pleasure working with him. And in fact, when the film began, I didn't know him at all. I was meeting him for the first time and I was working with him for the first time. But through this film, I found a really good friend in him. And I think the film has shaped up rather well, despite the fact that it has taken a little over 3 years to make. So that was disappointing, the time that it took to make. But I think it's turned out fairly good, and I think I feel that the audiences should like this film. I have my hopes on this film, and we've done our best. I think it's turned out well. Let's see how the people like it. Well, I don't know really. I'm still groping. I'm still finding out what is my strong point. But I do enjoy comedy. Yeah, I feel rather comfortable in comedy. But I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know what people think. Not at all. Whether it's my brother or any other actor, when I'm doing a film and it's got many other actors in it, there's no question of rivalry, because we are all working towards a common goal, and that is what the director wants. And there's no question of rivalry at all. I'm looking forward to that film starting, because it's going to be my second film with Raj Santoshi, and I think I like the story, so I think it should turn out to be a good film. I don't think he's giving it that much thought. See, I personally do not look upon things so intricately. I look upon my projects as films that I'm doing, in the sense that the people I'm working with, one, the script that I'm doing, and the role that I'm doing. This actor I'm working with is a major star, and how will that affect my career? Or I'm a major star and the other person is not, and how will it affect his career and my career? These things I don't even go into. For me, it's just experience of working on a good film. All the other things are incidental. Well, I think I've had a fairly good average, in terms of successes. And the reason for that is my choice of directors, I feel. Well, first of all, you have to be lucky. But apart from all that, I think I give a lot of priority to the director, the person who's going to make the film. And I think that has helped a lot. So really the credit should go to my directors. And also, I don't like to overburden a project. So I like to try my best to see to it that the project that I'm doing should not become over budget in any way. It should not be unfeasible for the producer. It should not become, the economics should not go haywire. So to achieve that, I try and help the producer, and I try and make the other people in the unit aware of that, so that the film doesn't bear the brunt of our luxuries, or our wastages. We shouldn't have any wastage in the film. So I try and my best to make sure that the film turns out economical. The role that I have in mind, and I would like to do. Maybe there is a character of Karna from Mahabharata which has fascinated me a lot. But I don't really think in those terms. I don't think in terms of I must do this kind of a role, and then let me get a script written around it. Let me get a director who wants to make that. No. I have to first find a director who approaches me with a good script. and then I react and I either say yes or no.
Getting back to what I asked earlier, but vulgarity and crudity that is treating it with little, what is your contribution to that, I think?
Well, my contribution to that is I try and avoid any vulgarity or crudity being shown in my films. And in the last so many years, I've been trying my best to see to it that that doesn't happen in my films. Apart from that, there's very little I can do. I can't force other people to not be vulgar in their films.